So hello you wonderful citizen of the internet, and welcome to a video in which I have finally caved to your relentless demands for a makeup tutorial. However, I warn you, it has been a number of years since I've made a makeup tutorial because I don't particularly enjoy making them and I'm not very good at it. So let's hope that this isn't a complete shit show from beginning to end, but all being well, this is a tutorial for sort of the laziest, quickest kind of smoky eye, which is then turned into a sort of snatched cat eye in the laziest, quickest way possible. It only uses 2 palettes. You could probably get away with using just the first palette. I use basically 1 brush for almost everything. And I've also included the black and red ombre lip in the tutorial too. And anyway, with all of that said, I will leave all the products in the drop down. And here comes my terrifying semi-made up face. Oh god, watch out, it's coming. Ah. Well, good afternoon. Things can only get better. So far I've got foundation on, I've got contour on, I don't have highlight on, hence why the contour looks so whack. And I have my temporary tattoo brows on because laziness. So starting with the red eyeshadow, I'm using this palette, I think, for most, if not all of the red that I'm going to be using. I we'll see. But this is really good for red. So, oh, pretty. So I think I'm going to start with this guy over here. That really screaming red right there. It is called First, I think. Perfect, it's called First, and we are using it first. Brush, this makeup look I'm really sloppy with. I basically use the same brush throughout. It is this rather busted up looking guy. It's kind of flat but quite fluffy. It's kind of about that big. And I just knock the shadow off between colours. I just knock it off on my trousers or on the side of my chair, so my chair ends up like looking like some kind of artist's paint box. So yeah, I'm gonna grab some of that, and I'm just gonna kind of throw. I've done this makeup look before, and I'm trying to recreate it, and I can't remember how the hell I did it. So this may not come out looking exactly the same as it did last time. But I'm basically just gonna slop this around the place. So I'm kind of leaving my lid a little bit bare because I feel like I'm gonna do something different with that. I'm not quite sure what, but something. Okay, and having done that, I am going to take this one, which seems to be called Mittens over here, this kind of brick red, and I'm going to do something with that. We'll find out what. I think I'm going to kind of plop it over here in the corner and sort of dragging it into the crease a little bit. So I'm kind of shoving my brush into the crease and dragging it up a little bit just to kind of darken this red a little tiny bit, give it a bit more definition. And then I think I'm going to grab some of this shimmery pink over here, this one called Alba. I'm just going to stick my finger in it and put a little bit on my inner corner before I do any eyeliner. So now I'm going to grab a big chunky black eyeliner. Like if you've got the proper like kohl stuff that actually stays on your waterline, I would recommend using that, but I haven't got any of that yet. I am still using crappy pencils that wear off every 5 seconds, and I'm just gonna kind of go all the way around. Am I falling off the bottom of the screen a little bit? And I'm coming into the inner corner a little bit too, and then kind of going, can you see what I'm doing even? I'm kind of going up, and then I'm going over the top quite lightly. I'm just trying to do like a little tiny bit on there that I can smudge out in a minute. Doesn't matter if it looks like shit at this stage. It will in fact look like shit at this stage. Okay, and then my pencil thing has a smudge stick on the back. If you don't have a smudge stick, I don't know, like a foam pad or a brush or something, like a firm packed brush might do okay for just kind of smudging out the eyeliner a bit. Don't even know if they still make these eyeliners. It's a very old eyeliner. I got completely obsessed with this make and I bought so many that I still have them, and they're still fairly new. Okay, and having smudged it out, it kind of looks like that. I'm realizing last time I did this, I did the underside at the same time. So I'm going to go back to that screaming red called First over here, and same brush. And I'm just going to kind of have it under my eye here, starting at the lash line and then knocking the powder off when I've done that bit, and then just dragging it down. And then I'm going to go back to this brick red that was called Mittens, I think, this one, blah, 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 over here, and get a little bit of that and just come under the eye until you've used up most of the powder, knock it off, and then you can smudge it out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take this purple in the corner, this one that says Risk underneath it, and same brush, sticking that in, and I'm just gonna kind of blend upwards from the eyeliner until I've kind of filled in most of my lid space. Tilt your head back a bit, you can kind of see what you're doing a bit better. Dragging it up a little bit towards the brow at the front, and then kind of not trying to erase the red completely, so it's kind of like that. Then I'm going to use a waterproof liquid eyeliner and do a bit of a sort of lazy ass wing. This is the bit where I will probably end up falling off the bottom of the maybe not. Maybe I won't fall off the bottom of the screen. So my eyes are quite downward slanted. It doesn't really matter if this is not a flawless wing because it's all smoky, and we're going to do a thing later that's going to clean it all up. But because my eyes are kind of slightly downward tilted, I always start my wing before the bottom of my eye. Like, don't come all the way down to here and then wing it, or you're going to have this whole like thing. I come from about here, so I'm like a couple of millimeters up. And then come out. So this doesn't have to be perfect, which is good because I'm having a shaky hand day. And yeah, that's not really great, but it'll do. I know some people do the whole fancy schmancy kind of like pointy double thorn thing. I'm not going to bother with that because we are going to kind of put some black on over the top of the wing. So the wing is not really, there's no point making it a work of art, basically. And then I'm coming around the front a little bit. Just going to do the other side, and then I'll do the inner corner. And then I'm going to try and do like a little, just a teeny weeny flick on the inner corner. Sort of like so. Okay, and now I'm breaking out the Vampyrism palette by Jolie Beauty. I'm just going to use the black from this right now, but we are going to use more from this, and I do love this palette. And I think this is the one that I recommended actually with the contour tutorial I did, because although it wasn't the shadows I used in the contour tutorial, I realized afterwards, why can't I speak, that one of these two shades here, perfect pale person contours, and then this shade down here, really great kind of deeper contour for pale people. So and that is just such a beautiful palette anyway. But anyway, just using the black at the moment, and this is the one time that I do use a different brush, is when I use black or white, because obviously those colors you just don't want mixing with your other colors. So I'm going to be really sloppy here, and I'm going to use my sleeve to catch any fallout, because obviously whenever you use black there's generally fallout. So I'm just going to put my sleeve here to kind of block it, but I'm going just above the wing with the black on a kind of flat brush, and then I'm dragging it kind of upwards, kind of blending it upwards, a little bit outwards as well. Just going to go over that again. So as you can see, you really can't see your wing anymore. So if you fucked up your wing, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Okay, and I'm just gonna knock the powder off the brush and then just blend it a little bit better. This will be blended on the outside in a while, so if it still looks sloppy around the edge, doesn't matter. But I do this because do you see how much more lifted that eye looks compared to this eye where it's just the wing? If you put black above the wing, it really lifts your eye. It's a really good kind of savior trick if you've got makeup that's just not really looking how you want it to look. Just a bit of black, or even just like a darker color above the wing, just lifts everything really magically. Okay, and suddenly that is a lot more lifted. Okay, so I'm going back to the berries palette and I'm going back to the dark brick red over here, the one called Mittens. Same kind of beat up, flat, fluffy brush as before. And then I'm just gonna blend in where that black is. I'm just gonna kind of stop that harsh edge from existing. Okay, then I'm knocking all the powder off the brush and I'm going back to my Screaming Bright Red first over here. And I'm just gonna go around, not too heavily, but just a little bit around the edges of all of this, because I don't want that red to completely disappear. So I'm just kind of smudging it into that black with kind of little tiny flicking movements. And I feel like I also want to just put a bit more of that Screaming Bright Red down here. And then I'm going to take some more of this purple in the corner of the berries palette, and I'm going to take a little bit of that under my eye too, just to kind of echo the purple that's above. Okay, so next up I'm going to slap a whole bunch of different shimmers all over my lid. I'm starting with the Vampyrism palette, and I'm going to stick a bit of this lovely shimmer here, this one called Bitten. It looks purple there, but it's actually got this kind of golden burgundy shimmer to it if the light hits it right. That's a lovely shimmer there too, Venom. So if you can kind of stick your finger in a bit of both of those, is my favorite thing to do, and then just rub it on the lid in the center and kind of drag it up a little bit. I really love the combination of red and black and purple in eye makeup. I feel like it's so versatile. You know, if you do these same colors but a different shape, you can actually, believe it or not, make some really like masculine smoky eye makeup. It's super versatile. Also, the thing that I tend to do with makeup that I will get people being like, oh my god, you're so creative, how did you come up with these ideas? Oftentimes my ideas for makeup are literally exactly the same idea over and over and over again, but in different colors. So if you learn the shape and the movements and like light shadows in one place, dark shadows in the other, if you learn all of that with one bunch of colors, just switch it to another color. Like do this in greens, do this in oranges, do this in blues. Like once you have some kind of layout of eyeshadow that works for you, just change up the colors and you have a whole different thing. So coming over to the berries palette again, I think I'm gonna use a bit of this one called Vote. This there, it's a shimmery red and it's called Vote, and I'm gonna just pop that over the top of the burgundy, right, just literally right down the middle. So I've still kind of got burgundy on the sides, but it's just hitting a little bit reddy pink in the very center. Ugh, shimmers are so fucking satisfying, dude. Okay, and I think it is finally time to clean this hot mess up. I've lost my favorite white brush at the moment, which is really annoying me. What I ideally like for a white brush is kind of like a thicker version of this. So it's kind of flat, but it's about double the thickness of this. So it's good and solid. It's got solid bristles that you can kind of brush stuff out of the way and you can blend quite aggressively with. And I can't find my white brush. So at the moment I've got this, which is kind of fluffy, but it's too soft really. So I'm probably going to hold it here to just make the bristles a bit firmer. And I'm using the white from the Vampyrism palette. And I'm just going to kind of clean up all around the edges, just blending out all the edges of the shadow. Sometimes you want to knock the shadow off your brush if you get too much red on there. Do you see how much more diffused that looks than that now? Like, this is just one of those steps that you should never, ever, ever, ever skip because it makes such a huge difference. And I'm going to do the same thing under my eyes too, to just try and make this red look like it's kind of almost coming out of your skin naturally. So it's almost like you've just got this kind of naturally red, glowy under eye, all a bit sinister looking instead of just looking like a pile of makeup sploshed on there. So at this point you've got a reasonably passable smoky eye. If you wanted to just slap on some lashes and pretty much leave it at that, you could. However, the thing that really works wonders and that turns quite a lazy, sloppy, smoky eye into quite a snatched thing is white liquid liner. This is Stargazer's one. I get it off Amazon. It's got a really good brush and it's pretty good and strong, but it's not 100%. Like, it will crack a little bit if you have it on for more than about 3 hours. And sometimes when you get it new, it's quite watery and you have to use like 3 layers before it really looks good. So I still haven't found my perfect white liquid liner. And I say this because if you have found the perfect white liquid liner, please tell me. But this one does the job. And this one is a reasonably old one. So it's congealed a little bit, which means it goes on stronger. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna go under here. And just draw a line right up to here. Don't get it on your waterline ideally because it does sting. Cleaning it up a bit with my finger. Try and make the other one match. And then I'm gonna go in the back, and you want this line to basically be following a line through your eye, but basically just below your wing is kind of where you want it. And I mean, if you wanted this to be less completely dramatic, you could just use concealer and you would then just have a really sharp wing. You could do that and that would also work. Okay, and I feel like I just wanna kind of darken up the bottom of my under eye a little bit. So I'm gonna take my flat brush and a bit of the black from the Vampyrism palette and just go along the lash line here, not dragging it down too far. Might even wing this a little bit along the back of this white. Possibly. Yeah, that looks kind of cute. Okay, I like that better now. So I think mascara and false lashes. Okay, so the lashes I'm about to use are these Faux Silk ones by W7. I don't know if I got these in Boots or on Amazon. They're kind of bossed up, but I feel like this is dark enough that it won't really show, so I'm just going to put those on. Okay, so the lashes are on, and the final thing with the eyes is to just put a bit of highlight under my brow bone. So I'm going to use, I think, a fairly warm toned kind of pinky highlight up here. from my beloved Diviner Cosmetics Suspiria highlighter, but I'm just using the pinky bit, and I'm going to go all the way along, I think. All the way along. And blend it out a bit. Kind of does that. And now I'm going to highlight my face, and then I will come back for the lips. I'm a shiny person, much happier being a shiny highlighted person. I actually feel like this looks really cute without lipstick on, but since people said they liked this look, and I don't know whether they were including the lips in that, I guess we're going to do the lips. So the lips I used last time, I had this, what is this? This is Rimmel Stay Matte Lip Colour in Firestarter, is that one. And I'm also using this Ancient Lime Crime Black just to go around the outsides. My little trick for picking lipsticks, this is probably like teaching grannies to suck eggs, honestly, because it's so obvious. But if I can't choose between lipsticks or I'm not sure what's going to go, I will hold up, whether it's like a pairing of lipsticks, whether it's only one lipstick, but I will just hold them up against my face like this over my lips so I can kind of see, okay, that colour with all of this, does it work? And like, oftentimes the first one you'll be like, well, I don't know, does it go, does it not go? If you try with like 3 different lipsticks, you will find that one of them you're like, yes, that one goes, the others not so much. So I did that before with these ones, and this was the one that came up, so I guess we'll just go with it. I've also got this rather beat up lip brush that comes out whenever I do like a red black ombre, just to kind of smudge them about a little bit. So I tend to start with the black on the top lip and just do the outline, because that takes quite a bit of time. I feel like if I did the red first, it would probably dry too much to really manipulate by the time I'd done the black. So just doing the black and trying to keep it relatively thin so that it doesn't completely take over. Okay, so once you have a really funky little moustache, slap on the red. And then brush. And if the brush gets too black, use your finger to just drag the red outwards. And if necessary, add more red. And push it up into the black. And then on the bottom, I tend to do the reverse because it doesn't take really any time at all to just sweep around the bottom. I will start with the red and then go in with the black. And then when that is on, I like to take Sugarpill's Asylum Chromalust and just stick my finger in it a little bit. Drag it over the red. I feel like this is the perfect goth Christmas lip. Wondering if I want some of this on my eyes as well, actually. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just putting that right in the center of all that purple. I don't know if you can see. I feel like that kind of gives it something. Ooh, especially from a bit of an angle. It's not at all visible. I like it. And that is basically the whole thing. So yes, it is such a nice, lazy, but kind of doesn't look too lazy look. I feel like this would look better personally with drawn brows, like stronger brows that were maybe the same color as some kind of color between this and my hair color, but kind of dark and kind of a bit more penciled in. That is the brows I would prefer with this, but I was feeling lazy today, so I did the transfer brows, and they're doing okay, but they're just not quite strong enough for this makeup look, in my opinion. But yes, tell me if there is anything else you would like to see me do makeup wise, if there are any looks that I have done in the past that you would like to see me do. Otherwise, I will maybe throw myself in front of a camera next time I'm randomly putting on makeup, because the thing with me is that I don't normally know what makeup I'm going to wear before I start putting it on. Usually I'm just like attracted towards a particular palette or a particular kind of color or vibe, and I'll start with that, but I don't really know how it's going to turn out. So yeah, but I might start trying to film it, and we will see how it goes. So let me know. But yes, the versatility thing is definitely like, if any of these shapes or whatever work for you, you can then just do them in a whole bunch of different colors. And as I say, with the different colors, I do really recommend the Beauty Bay palettes that they do. That, you know, they've got this for everything from red to pink to purple. They've got like a blues one, they've got a greens one. I've got both of those. I think they've got like an orangey one, maybe. So yeah, you know, you can basically take all of this and you can just turn it into any color that suits you or suits that day. But anyway, I guess I'm going to shut up and go away now. So thank you for tolerating me for this long. In for it out. Bye bye.